Yo, what's up guys? You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's the FPL Pundit here, and in today's video we are going to be looking at the wildcarding guide for game week 12. So if you're going to be wildcarding in game week 12, you need inspiration or you need expertise on which players you should buy ahead of the coming game weeks for your wildcard. This is the video that you should watch. And if also you just want to make transfers, you're not going to be wildcarding, but you need ideas on players to transfer in or transfer out, this is also the video that you should watch. So without further ado guys, let's jump straight in. So welcome back guys. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, turn on the post notification icon so that anytime I post a new video you are going to be aware. So now let's move on straight to the wildcard team selection for game week 12. But before that, let's quickly look at how the game week 11 wildcard team selection performed. So we saw that the wildcard team for game week 11 actually did really well. They got 57 points, although that wasn't the best, but we see that it is actually quite good, as the average point for the week was 42, the highest point was 116, and the game week round was 1.1 million, and a total of 5 transfers were made. So you know how we do the wildcard team selection here. It's not like I have wildcard every game week. I just pick a team where I'm always swapping them every game week. I'm making wildcard selection so that you managers can draw inspiration or draw knowledge from there. So we have Cancelo, Ben Chilwell, Mendy, James, Townsend, Salah, Son, Gallagher, Wang, Tony, and Harry Kane. And we see that this team actually isn't really that bad, but just a few mess here and there that came especially from Chelsea players. Chelsea conceded in this game week, and it affected many managers, most especially managers who had 3 Chelsea defenders. I have Mendy, I have Chilwell, and thanks for James for the assist and the bonus points, else you would have gotten just 2 points as well. So I missed out on Mendy and Chilwell. They didn't score, they didn't do anything. So the only good players that got points in the defense were Cancelo and James. Now players on the bench, I had Livramento on the bench, and to be honest, that was really crazy. Livramento shouldn't have been on my bench. Duffy was on my bench, so I lost 6 points on my bench. Now if you look at the midfield, we see that Townsend, Salah, Son, and Gallagher were the players I had in the midfield. Salah was the captain, scoring 5 points, but because he's captain, that's ×2, making 10 points. And the second performing player was Gallagher. So the attack was just there. They just blanked Wang, Tony, and Harry Kane. So looking at this, we see that the major points came from just 4 players, or 3 players who got double point, and James, Cancelo, Salah, Gallagher, and James were the major players that were able to help me score up to like 57 points, which is close to 60 points. Let's move on to this game week's transfer picks, yes, for wildcarding, and see how we are going to line up. So what is going to happen is that I'm going to speed wrap this part where I make selections of these players. I'm going to be taking out many of those players, and I'm going to be rearranging the team to save us time on the old picking thing. Then we're just going to analyze together the players I've chosen and why I have chosen them. So we're done guys, and welcome back to the video. So now we see that there are many changes I've made to the squad. Now some players are still there and many players have left the squad. So now we see that the first player looking from the goalkeeper is McCarthy, who is making it to the squad newly. Duffy remains in the team, Mendy remains in the team, Reguilon is replacing Ben Chilwell, James remains in the team, Cancelo remains in the team, and Livramento remains in the team. So that means there isn't much changes in the defense, as we see that only 2 players are the players have changed in the defense. That's the goalkeeper McCarthy and Reguilon, who is making it new to the squad. So moving on to the midfield, and we see that Norman is the latest player in the squad and Mason Mount. Gallagher remains, Salah remains, and Son also remains. And in the attack, the only new person coming in is Timo Pukki, whom I took out for Tony. So now, what are the reasons why I had actually transferred in this player? Let's quickly look straight to why I have transferred out this player. Now we see that Sanchez is currently injured, so that means automatically I need to take him out of the squad, and the next available player who seems to be very well is McCarthy, who I brought into the squad. So now I sold out Chilwell and brought in Reguilon, as I realized that this team isn't has too many focus on Chelsea players. So I took out Ben Chilwell from the Chelsea defense, and since Mount is fit again, I brought back Mount to the squad. So Mason Mount is in the midfield. I took out Ben Chilwell, and he's even also expensive with 6 million, and I brought in Reguilon. So why did I choose Reguilon to this wildcard squad? Now we see that Tottenham has changed their coach. Now they have Conte, who actually is very good defensively and really knows how to defend well. So that means we're going to see a better defensive performance from Tottenham in the coming games. Hopefully the attack also is able to do well. So now Reguilon, that's why I'm picking Reguilon, whom is just 5 million and is really quite cheap. He's replacing Ben Chilwell. So we see Douglas Luiz also. Douglas Luiz is not a player who plays in my team, but because he's injured, I just replace him with Norman. Norman is one of Norwich midfielders who has the highest scoring points so far this season, and Norwich also has actually sacked their coach, which means that we could even see a better performance from Norwich side. So now Townsend is going out of my team and I'm replacing Townsend with Mason Mount. As you see that Everton has very difficult fixtures ahead. They're going to be playing against Manchester City in the next match. Then they have really more difficult fixtures ahead, which means and their main striker Calvert-Lewin isn't still back, so probably they're even struggling because of these reasons. And even the midfielders who have been doing well for them and no longer scoring. So Mount is back. I had to replace Mount with Townsend, as I wanted to have one Chelsea attacker in my squad. I didn't have any Chelsea attacker in my squad. I wanted to get Lukaku back to the attack, but we see that Lukaku is still doubtful. He has just 50% chance of playing in the next match, so Mount stays instead of Lukaku. So I took out Tony, as we see that Brentford is really having a bad time since they lost their goalkeeper Raya, and I replaced him with Timu Pukki for the same reason why I brought Norman. Timu Pukki is an attacker, is Norwich #1 striker, and we see that Norwich are going to be having a new coach, which means that they will be struggling to get back in the Premier League table, getting away from relegation and trying to give their best performance, which means that the new coach is going to be implementing a new system which could actually help these players improve and get them scoring goals. So we are going to be confirming this transfer, and we'll be looking at how this team could line up in game week 12. So in game week 12, Timu Pukki is going to start in the attack. Awang is going to start in the attack as well. And this time around, we see that Livramento is going to be playing against Norwich away, and Norman is going to be playing against Southampton at home. So Norman is just 4.5 million. I'm not really expecting much from him, so he's going to be sitting on the bench and being the last player there. So I'm going to be having Mendy, Cancelo, Reguilon, James, which I think is okay for me, and Mount, Salah, Son, and Gallagher in the midfield, Wang, Pukki, and Harry Kane in the attack. So I think this lineup is okay, but it's possible the lineup changes, and if possible we even make new transfers once we get new information ahead of the game week. So I think this is as far as we go for the wildcard team selection for game week 12. So if you're going to be making transfers, we're going to be wildcarding, you could just pick up a few inspiration, you could pick up a few knowledge, you could pick up a few players from what I have selected. And it is also okay if you go for this exact squad that I have selected for wildcarding in game week 12. So that's going to be it for game week 12 wildcarding team selection, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.